Hi, this is Susan from Tailored Expressions. I just got done teaching a class on mass production, and one of the things that we discussed outside of making holiday cards, what cards do you mass produce? What cards do you need a lot of and you kind of keep on hand? And one of the things we talked about was sympathy cards. Sympathy cards seem to be a card that we send and we need it now. And to have some on backup is a great thing to do. So we did these cards today. I did it with our Rosy Posy stamp set, and we used this element here and put it in the corner, and then we used the Misty to make that a simple process. So I took the Misty and I set up that image, the little corner image. In the corner of the Misty, I had a little scratch piece of paper that I tested it out on just to make sure it was exactly where I wanted, and put a panel of white cardstock in there, inked it up with Oreo ink, stamped it on that corner. I'm going to go ahead and put my Misty magnet there just in case I want to double stamp it. That's the beautiful thing about the Misty. If it's not quite as dark as you want it to be, you can ink it up again, give it another stamp. So that gives us the one corner, and then all you have to do is take your cardstock and rotate it, put it all the way back down in that corner again, ink up your stamp, and again I'm probably going to double stamp it again just to make sure that they both match really well. Just make sure the concentration of black looks the same, so double stamp that. And that's what gave us the corners of this panel. I also, just to make everything simple, and if you are doing this in mass production, I also went ahead and put my Sympathy sentiment in the same Misty so that it's just all there ready to go. Makes things simple and quick. Again, same situation. I'm gonna keep my intensity of black the same by double stamping all of it. That ink pad might need a re-inker, that might be good. But that gives me the panel for this card. And what I did is I did just a bunch of them up, so then at night when I might be watching TV or something, I can take my Copics and it gives me something to kind of do. I don't have to sit, I could sit and color them all at one time, but I just have these laying on my countertop, and when we're watching basketball, I color a little bit during halftime or timeouts. Another thought is if you want to go really simple, you could just choose to color in some of the flowers. You don't have to color in all the flowers and all the leaves, depending on what you like, how much you like to color. But this is how I colored it in with Copics. Love that, love the simplicity of that. I also want to show you one more little trick that I do. I love this Frame and Frame 2 cutting plate from Tailored Expressions, but I also, it's meant to go on top of a panel. I'm sure that's the way it was designed, but I really love it behind my panel. So to get that in there and make sure that I have it all centered, something that I like to do is to take my die cut. I put down a little bit of purple tape, or whatever your removable tape is of choice. I put it on the back side of the die cut, and then I flip it over so that the purple tape is sticking up. Then I can take my panel, which I realize this isn't colored, but take my panel and lay it on the top of that. And I get some time to wiggle and decide if it's centered and all of that. Press it down, and then I can put my adhesive on everything on the back. So like for this one, I have been using foam tape. This is Tailored Expressions 1/16 of an inch foam tape. I like to take my foam tape then and catch both pieces when I put that foam tape down. That way I catch this part and that part. It saves me one step of gluing this frame to the white panel. But that catches it, then I can remove this and continue on and fill the whole back of my panel up with my dimensional foam tape. So that's a little shortcut to get you here. Another thing that I did, and I just did this last night and I almost like this one just a smidge better. I did the same thing with our toffee cardstock, and I white heat embossed with Taylor's white embossing powder that same element in each corner. White embossed it, did the sentiment the same. And then I used Tim Holtz oxide inks, where I pressed it onto a craft mat and picked it up with a watercolor brush, and it just is just beautiful. And I love the oxide ink because it just rolls right off of wherever the embossing has been. It doesn't stick at all. It's almost, I almost think it's quicker than Copic coloring, just because you don't have to be as precise on the flowers. So again, this is white heat embossed with TE white embossing powder, and I colored in the flowers with oxide inks. So I hope you try this out. I hope you grab a Rosy Posy stamp set and your Misty and check out an element to turn and use your Misty in a different way to put an element in each corner. It's kind of a fun look. So I hope you have a good day, and I hope you give it a try. Thanks for joining me. Bye.